Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 26th of March, comes to you from London. And we're seeing the dollar index pushing higher, this recovery on the long-term chart looking very strong indeed now. We're bullish on that short-term 60-minute chart. The medium-term chart, we're also bullish. So we've got upside potential on the short-term target, some 5% higher on the dollar. That means the euro is sitting below the 118 level. So we are looking still bearish here on the medium and short-term chart, and the long-term chart is still holding up to bullish, but is breaking down with that resurgence in the dollar. So dollar strength is the theme for 2021. If we take a look here on the yen chart, we've broken that 109 level. A lead indicator for the dollar, pushing to new highs again this morning, so looking strong there too. Sterling sitting at 137.74, just recovering a little bit against that stronger dollar. And if we look against the euro, we're looking strong here too, jumping up yesterday, sitting at that 117 level. So stronger sterling still the key. Vaccine rates playing a factor there, and we'll look at the case rates in Europe at the end of this session. Bitcoin sitting at $53,000, not enough to turn the short-term chart bullish, but we are still looking bullish, of course, on the longer and medium-term charts. We do have some downside targets here for Bitcoin. A new upside one, some 4% higher. Keep an eye on the 1-minute charts if you're trading Bitcoin. The S&P 500 index was up yesterday, 0.5%. Not enough really to take the chart into clearly bullish territory, and the Nasdaq still struggling really to break out into highs, so we are just short-term bearish. Tech stocks just really haven't had a very good several weeks now. Looking at the S&P futures, we're seeing they're down just 0.3%, and the Nasdaq E-mini up 0.3%. So all week we've seen this situation where the tech and the main market are not in lockstep. They're doing opposite things on the futures, and that's played out again. So we are just seeing a mixed market open potential there. Taking a look at the VIX volatility, we are lower here as well. So that's quite key. FTSE future up 0.5%, and the DAX is also stronger. The CAC Quarante also looking a bit stronger as well, so that's quite key. The Asian markets all looking pretty strong. The Sensex being the break there lower, and if we look at we'll look at crude oil in a minute. The gold price pushing higher, 1731, not enough really to show this chart as bullish. Silver up as well, but again just holding support level there on the daily chart. Copper looking strong, just keep pushing higher, and looking at 10-year yields 1.66%, so kicking back into bullish territory on that short-term chart. 2.38% on the 30-year yield, so we are just seeing bond yields still pushing higher. Crude oil, of course, has had a pretty turbulent time. In fact, we've just put out an oil report to clients this morning, looking at the weeks and months ahead. Quite an interesting picture, but at the moment the market is very focused on this 60-65 range, and of course a lot of this Suez crisis now playing into the oil price as well. If we look at US nat gas, kicking a little bit higher there at 257, coal fairly static at 71.70, emissions did pull back into the low 40s yesterday, recovering quite strongly this morning, up 2%. Of course, we've got long-term strength for emissions, and we've put out reports on that as well. Gas prices also looking stronger. The ship stuck in Suez is having an impact here. We're just seeing cargoes being diverted, and that means the demand is outweighing short-term supply. And we are seeing also German power just kicking higher, but we are in this 55, 57, 25 range at the moment. That's going to be quite critical. Taking a look at the COVID cases as we head into the weekend, big kick up in France. That's a little bit worrying there. So we're seeing an acceleration to 508 cases per million versus 81 in the UK. Germany pushing higher as well at 179 cases, so nowhere near as bad as France. Bulgaria just starting to flatten a little bit. Poland not looking great. And if we look at most other European nations, they're all pushing higher. Austria Greece has had a terrible few weeks. We are seeing a kick down in Slovakia, so they've got things under control there with restrictions. UK flattening, and the US just starting to show a little sign of kicking up there. So as they release restrictions in the UK and the US, it'll be interesting to see how these charts move. But for the moment, the situation in Central Europe is not looking good at all. That's it for today. Until Monday, have a great weekend. Happy charting. See you then.